Hey guys, welcome back to this Gimmick Puppet combo guide. I will show you the first turn kill. If you're not aware, this is the first turn kill deck. I'll also show you the deck list at the end of the video that you can copy tomorrow to play the deck depending on when you see this. I will show you the one card combo with the new field spell. We'll also explain the cards throughout this combo guide, and then I will show you a two card combo if this one card combo is not available. But don't you worry, we have a lot of cards in the deck that will help us get here. So the field spell reads so that we understand what these new cards do. When this card is activated, you can add one Gimmick Puppet monster from your deck to your hand. The field spell is crazy because Gimmick Puppet monsters we control cannot be destroyed by battle and are unaffected by the activated effects of your opponent's monsters except their XYZ monsters. So cards like Ash Blossom or Effect Fader will not work against us, same as with Ghost Spell or Ghost Ogre. But obviously cards like Infinite Impermanence, for example, would work, which is why we also have a Crosser Designator in the deck, but more to that later on. Once per turn, we can also detach one material from an XYZ monster we control and target one Gimmick Puppet monster in our graveyard, special summon it to our opponent's field in defense position. This special summoning to the opponent's field is a theme that will accompany us throughout this video. So we are going to activate the field spell, searching one of the main cards that you always need in order to combo, the Gimmick Puppet Little Soldier. The soldier is also a new one. If this card is normal or special summon, we can send one Gimmick Puppet monster with a different level. So this is 4, most of them are 8, from a deck to the graveyard, and this card's level becomes that monsters, which is nice because all of our XYZ extra deck monsters are normally level 8, besides a few other ones that we can then summon with a rank up spell. You will see this in a moment. And then once this is in the graveyard, we can also banish this card, then target up to 2 Gimmick Puppet monsters and we control and increase their level by 4, which gives us the ability, you will see this later on, to make more level 8 bodies that we can then do a rank magic with. We are going to send the Gimmick Puppet Rogue Doll, also a new card, very strong and probably the best one besides the field spell. If this card is in your hand, you can reveal one Gimmick Puppet XYZ monster in your exo deck, special summon both this card and one Gimmick Puppet monster with the same level as the revealed monster, which is insanely strong. The special summons itself and then another level 8. So this is already 3 level 8 XYZ. If this card is sent to the graveyard except from the hand, so from the field, you can add it to your hand, very nice. And then we have a restriction here, so we're activating this card, showing whatever rank 8. We are going to summon the Rogue Doll and the Cattle Scream. Cattle Scream, also a new card here. We can detach one XYZ material from a monster, or special summon this card from hand or graveyard, but banish it when it leaves the field. And then a Gimmick Puppet XYZ monster that has this card as a material gains the following effect: once per turn, you can target one monster in your opponent's graveyard, special summon to your opponent's field in defense position. We are going to use the Soldier and the Cattle Stream to go into our new Gimmick Puppet Phantasix Machinix. 2 level 8 monsters, we can detach one material from this card. This will get us our rank up magic spell that we will use multiple times throughout this turn, 3 times to be exact. Also, you can normal summon one machine monster during your main phase this turn, in addition to the normal summon that we already did. This will become important later on when we summon the Terror Baby. And then also, if you special summon a Gimmick Puppet XYZ monster, we can special summon this card from our graveyard to either our opponent's field in defense position or to our field, and then we can add one rank up magic spell from graveyard to the hand. So this can firstly add us the rank up spell from the deck, and then once again from the graveyard we are going to activate this card, detaching the Cattle Scream to act the rank up magic Argent Chaos Force. Target one rank 5 or higher XYZ monster, and then we special summon a number C or XYZ monster that is 1 rank higher. And also, when a rank 5 or higher XYZ monster is special summoned to our side of the field while this card is in the graveyard, we can add it once again, which he gives us the original rank up magic spell. Then he can add it once and itself can add it once, so we can use it 3 times. We are going to activate this, targeting our XYZ here to go into the number 40 Gimmick Puppet of Dark Strings. Dark Strings is very important here, needs 3 level 9 monsters originally. If this card is special summon, destroy as many monsters with string counters as possible, and if you do draw 1 card, then inflict damage to your opponent equal to the highest original attack among those cards destroyed in the graveyard. And once per turn, we can also detach raw material from this card and place 1 string counter on each face of monster our opponent controls. So this is how we are going to do this first turn kill. We are going to place string counters on monsters, and then we will destroy those monsters and inflict damage. There's also another card in our extra deck that we will use to inflict damage whilst destroying a monster on our opponent's field, but you will see this in a moment. We are going to activate this to detach the Phantasix Machinix. And now we can special summon the Gimmick Puppet Kettle Scream. Sorry, we have activated the Kettle Screams effect in the graveyard to detach the Machinix from the Dark Strings to special summon the Kettle Scream. And now we can use these two level 8s to go into the original Puppet of Strings, which says once per turn you can detach one material from this card, place one string counter on each face-up monster on the field. Once again, the string counters, and then once per turn during the end phase of the phase of the opponent of the player who plays the string counter by this effect, destroy the monster with string counters, and if you do, inflict 500 damage to your opponent for each monster. So this is also able to inflict damage, but we won't use this in the combo here. Now we are going to trigger the rank up Magic Argent Chaos Force to add back to the hand here, since we have summoned an XYZ, and then we can go ahead and detach from our Gimmick Puppet of Strings our Puppet Rogue Doll to place a string counter on the Gimmick Puppet of Dark Strings. The next thing we are going to do is activate rank up Magic Argent Chaos Force, targeting the Puppet of Strings to go into another Dark Strings. Dark Strings will now activate mandatory here, and then we can also chain our Gimmick Puppet Phantasix Machinix. Since an XYZ monster was summoned, we can resummon it to either opponent's field or our field and then add our rank up spell back to hand. We are going to summon it to our field and get the rank up spell back to hand, and then the effect of Dark Strings will destroy the other Dark Strings, draw us a card, and inflict the first 3,300 damage to our opponent. Then we can activate the field spells, third effect basically, detach an XYZ material and then special summon a gimmick monster to our opponent's side of the field. Now we are going to summon the Dark Strings, which, because this is a mandatory effect, will once again activate, and we will also chain the rank up Magic Chaos Force, and we will go into the new Gimmick Puppet Phantasix Machinix. If this card is special summoned, you can add one Puppet Trap from deck to hand, and then we can also detach raw material from this card, special summon one monster from either graveyard to your opponent's field in defense position. If a monster is special summoned to your opponent's field, we can also target one of them, destroy it, and inflict damage to your opponent equal to half its original attack. We won't use this here though, but you will see this in a moment. Firstly, we are going to activate the Phantasix Machinix to add the new trap. The Service Puppet Play, a very strong one. You won't need this in this combo, but if the combo fails, you have an option. Target monsters your opponent controls up to the number of Gimmick Puppet XYZ monsters you control. Take control of these monsters until the end phase. Very strong, but as I already said, we won't really need it here. Activate the Puppet Phantasix Machinix to now detach and summon the Gimmick Puppet of Strings to the opponent's field. Then we are going to go into our Link 2. This is an old card, the Gimmick Puppet Chimera Doll. During a main phase, if you control this Link Summon card, we can activate this effect. You cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of the turn except a Machine XYZs. Also take one Gimmick Puppet monster from your deck and either add it to your hand or send it to the graveyard. We are going to activate this to get our Terror Baby here. Terror Baby is a level 4 that if normal or special summon, we can target one Gimmick Puppet monster in our graveyard except this one and special summon it in a defense position. We can also banish this from the graveyard, and then our opponent cannot activate cards or effect in response to the activation of Gimmick Puppet monsters effects this turn. So if you can get the Terror Baby early on in the graveyard, which can be a line, and banish it, you can also protect yourself from infinite impermanence. Remember that we are still, because of the field spell, throughout the whole time, protected from any interaction effects of non-XYZ monsters, for example Ash Blossoms, with our Gimmick Puppet monsters. Now we can normal summon the Terror Baby because of our additional normal summon from the Phantasix Machinix, and then we can special summon the Kettle Scream. Now we have in level 8 and level 4, we need 2 level 8s here, which is why we now activate Gimmick Puppet Little Soldiers, only targeting the Terror Baby to increase its level by 4, so we have 2 level 8s again. Now we are going to get the Grinder, the Gimmick Puppet Giant Grinder, 2 level 8 monsters up to twice per turn during our main phase 1. We can detach raw material from this card and target one special summon monster our opponent controls, destroy it, and then if it was an XYZ monster, inflict damage to your opponent equal to its original attack. You can see right here we have 2 monsters on our opponent's field, one with 3,000, one with 3,300. So now we are able to detach from our Giant Grinder, destroy the Dark Strings, inflict 3/3, and then destroy the strings and inflict directly 1/4. And our opponent is dead right here. Now let's remember the second combo. I'll show you the second combo where we will do it a bit differently and we will not open with the field spell. For our second combo, we will open with the Gimmick Puppet Little Soldiers as well as the Puppet Rogue Doll. Firstly, we are going to normal summon Little Soldiers, activating the effect to send to the graveyard our Gimmick Puppet Dreary Dole. Then we can once again activate the Rogue Dole, revealing any level 8 and summon the Kettle Scream like in the last combo. 2 level 8s, the Kettle Scream and the Little Soldiers. Go ahead and make Fantasix Machinix. We can activate Fantasix Machinix, detaching the Kettle Scream here to get the rank up spell. Now activate the rank up spell to go into the rank 9 here. The Fanatix Machinix, once again grabbing us the trap card that we don't need in this combo, but still nice to have. And then we will activate Kettle Scream, detaching the Fantasix Machinix to resummon the Kettle Scream here. We have 2 level 8s again. Now we can make the Puppet of Strings. We can now activate in the graveyard the Fantasix Machinix since an XYZ was summoned to resummon this guy, and then also grab our rank up spell from the graveyard. Important here, you can also activate the rank up spell here. Don't activate the rank up spell's effect to add itself, but activate only Puppet Fantasix Machinix, which will add you the rank up spell anyways. We will add this rank up spell later on since the rank up spell's own addition effect is only once per turn. Then we can activate the Puppet of Strings to place the string counters on our other XYZs here, and we will also be able to add the Gimmick Puppet Rogue Doll to our hand here. Use these two to go into our Link 2 here, but before we activate it, we are activating the second effect of Gimmick Puppet Fanatix Machinix, detaching the Soldier to summon the Puppet of Strings to opponent's field. Then we are once again adding the Baby here, since like the same thing we have done in the last combo basically, and then we can also special summon from the hand, which we will special summon the Gimmick Puppet Rogue Doll, which was added before. Now we can activate in the graveyard the Gimmick Puppet Dreary Dole. If this card is in your graveyard, you can banish one other Gimmick Puppet monster from your graveyard, special summon this card. You can only use this effect once per turn, so we are getting this to the field here, once again having 2 level 8s, making the Giant Grinder once again. Activating the Grinder's effect, detaching the Dreary Dole here to destroy the Puppet of Strings and inflict the first 3000. Now we are going to rank up Magic with the Giant Grinder here, climbing into our Gimmick Puppet of Dark Strings, level 9, which will now activate, destroying our Puppet Fanatix Machinix with the string counter, since this is mandatory to destroy any card with a string counter, and inflict the original attack as damage. So now we have another 3100 damage. Now we can normal summon Terror Baby. Once again activate Terror Baby's effect to summon the Dreary Dole, and then you know the drill already, we are banishing Toy Soldier to get us another level 8 available, and now we can go into another Puppet of Strings. The Puppet of Strings will not activate at this moment, but we can now re-add our rank up Magic Agent Chaos Force for once per turn, and then we can detach from the Puppet of Strings the Dole in order to place a counter on the Gimmick Puppet of Dark Strings. There is a counter on this now, as indicated by this little icon here, and now we can use rank up Magic Agent Chaos Force, targeting the off strings to go into another Dark Strings, and Dark Strings once again will trigger in order to destroy the Puppet Chimera Doll, as well as the other Dark Strings, which will now inflict the remaining damage to our opponent. And once again, with 2 cards, we have first turn killed our opponent, though this time around not through the protection of the field spell. And now I will show you a deck list and talk over some cards that you can go ahead and play on Master Duel in the ranked ladder. So here we are with a potential deck list. Let me quickly rearrange this because I needed to change this up for the combo. We are playing triple Gimmick Puppet Rogue Doll, one of the strongest cards in the entire deck. We have 2 Gimmick Puppet Terror Babies. We have triple Gimmick Puppet Little Soldiers. You saw how strong this card is. We have triple Gimmick Puppet Bisque Doll. We have 3 Gimmick Puppet Kettle Scream. We have 1 Gimmick Puppet Dreary Doll for the combo you just seen. We obviously have triple mention of the Dreadful Dolls, which probably will be an ultra rare. Then we have 1 Servant Puppet play, and then I am playing triple Trade-In because we have a lot of level 8s that we can discard to draw 2 cards, basically a Pot of Greed, which if we don't have what we need, we can use this in order to get into our combo. You could also think about putting in, for example, a Pot of Desires, because we have multiple cards of the most important ones in here. The only danger, I would say, is getting rid of the rank up Magic Agent Chaos Force, which we definitely need. But this is the only pot that you can realistically play. Honestly, we can't play the Off Prosperity rarity. We also can't really play Extravagance since we only have, for example, one Gimmick Puppet, a Giant Grinder. So I would definitely suggest go for the trade-in route if you want the most consistency. This is unfortunately an ultra rare, I am aware. We have triple Ash Blossoms, so the non-engine space we have here is quite high. We have triple Ash Blossoms, we have triple Maxis, we have triple Infinite Impermanences, then for sure the crossout, since we can then cross out something like an Imperm that can stop us. Remember that an Effect Veiler or a Ghost Ogre and also an Nibiru can't stop us here. We still want to have these one-offs in here, because if we don't have our Mention of the Dreadful Dolls, then we are not protected. We could be protected if we have our Puppet Terror Baby here that we can banish. So it's kind of like a Tenpai, but a bit more toxic in my opinion. We are playing 2 Caught by the Grave, 2 Triple Tactic Talents just to get more cards if we get stopped. Then we have our Rank Up Magic Arch and Chaos Force, 1 Effect Veiler, 1 Nip, 1 Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. We are playing 2 times the Gimmick Puppet Chimera Doll, 2 Dark Strings, 2 Puppet of Strings, 2 Fanatics Machinics, 1 Gimmick Puppet Giant Grinder, 1 Gimmick Puppet Giant Hunter, 2 Gimmick Puppet Fanatics Machinics, 1 Gimmick Puppet of Leo, 1 Gimmick Puppet Giant Dolls, and 1 Gimmick Puppet Disaster Leo. So this is the Gimmick Puppet deck list as well as the combo guide. Let me know in the comments if there is anything missing or if you have any more questions. Let me know what you think of this deck. Will you pick this up? I am very interested in that. If you like my videos, please consider subscribing, hitting a thumbs up and the notification bell, and we will see each other in the next one.